What up, guys?
This your boy GP.
Derrick, we coming back to you talking about training around injuries today.
Yep.
Yeah, it's everybody likes to go hard nowadays, and no one wants to take a day off or rest. They actually let their body recoup and recover. So we just gonna roll with it and teach you how to train around an injury. My man Gary has been a trainer much longer than I have. Yeah. I've only had a couple clients that had injuries that I tried to work around, but we're going to rely more on his experience tonight and really kind of show you like the ins and outs, what you got to be aware of, what modifications you can make, and how to, still maintain what you have while you are injured.
Now, the number one thing you need to do if you're training someone with an injury, if you're a personal trainer, you want to make sure they've been cleared. And if they've been cleared, you want to make sure whatever doctor cleared them, they give you there's a sheet that shows you the restrictions and what movements to stay away from.
Oh, so you actually asked them for that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Mr. Gary asked for that.
I got to step my game up. I have not been asking for that.
Yeah, ask for that because that'll save you in the long run because you don't want nobody to try to sue you or anything like that.
Oh, not at all.
So the thing is that form is like a cheat sheet, so it tells you what movements to stay away from. So if somebody had a ankle injury or something like that, and depending on how recent it's been, I'm not going to have them, do box jumps and all type of crazy stuff. So like, it's important you get that form and you make sure they've been cleared, so they don't try to get over you. But for the most part, people who have injuries, you just have to listen to them. And a lot of personal trainers, they don't ask that question. I'll ask everybody I train, have you been cleared? Do you have any injuries? And if so, when was the last time you had an injury? And people will tell you. Yeah. Because when you get that information, then you can kind of identify based on whatever it is their goals is, what movements to stay away from and what type of workout program you need to create for them.
So I got a question for you. So what if they've been cleared from PT? So like they had an injury, they had their downtime, they went to physical therapy and they got cleared through physical therapy. What do you do? So how do you approach it that way after? So technically they're good for everyday living and stuff like that. So how do you take them on from that point?
Well, I still will start them off as a beginner and still ease them into it. So I will give you like prime example. I have people who have lower back issues.
Okay.
And so one of their goals is to lose back fat. Based on the exercises that I'm having them do for their back, I have to take consideration what modifications I'm gonna have them do. So, instead of doing a heavy deadlift, I might have them do something light with a kettlebell, or a dumbbell.
So would you ever have them do like hyperextensions?
No, like, I probably wouldn't. Just me just being on the safe side because I don't want anything to happen. Yeah. Well, I try to play it. I try to use as much caution as I can.
So how do you? So if they're all right. So like they're coming back from an injury. Mm-hmm. They have a weakened lower back. Yeah. What do you do to build strength up? For instance, I would do more so. In that case, somebody has a lower back issue. Instead of the goal would be to have them do as much less weight and a lot of repetition along with resistance bands. Okay.
So this person here, so prime example, this person here, I know I can have them do a good morning based on their lower back or squatting or something like that. So I will tie a band up and have them get inside of it. Now they're doing body weight. And with that body weight, it's the resistance. So they're pulling.
Okay.
So that's one route I might go. Like I said, if it's a deadlift movement or if it's a bent over row, depending on what the person could do. If they can't lift heavy, then my goal now, based on that workout, based on them telling me the information that they've given me, I'm going to make sure I burn them up. So now it's going to be a lot of repetition with lightweight. So until we could progress to the point where you can start lifting heavy. Okay. So prime example, instead of me having the straight bar and putting 135 on that, which I know more than likely it's easy for you to do because you could do it, but because of this this injury, we're not even going to do the straight bar. Let's just do a kettlebell. Yeah. So I'm going to grab this kettlebell, this 30-pound kettlebell, and I'm going to have you do a kettlebell deadlift anywhere between 15 to 20 reps. Okay. But I'm doing that because, like I said, you got to understand this too. These people who have injuries, they also work. So the last thing you want is to re-injure them, and now you messing with their livelihood.
Yeah,
now you messing with their money.
That's real.
And so they coming to us because they trust us, and they know we have the knowledge. Which means, as a personal trainer too, also we got to make sure we on our game, and we're not just becoming stagnant with certain exercises.
Right.
So you need to understand. You need to have a back exercise when it comes to weight, kettlebells, dumbbells, resistance bands. You need to be well diverse in that area because you're going to run into these situations and problems.
Right.
That's and half the time it's not. Sometimes we can mistaken these people. Their tolerance level when it comes to pain. So we're thinking they're being soft or they're copping out, but that's not necessarily the case. Their back is really hurting.
Yeah.
The issue, whatever the issue is, because like I said, some of these people come from backgrounds where they're not working out at all.
So how do you handle, like, have you ever had a guy that's got an injury, and guys will try to be macho and try to fight through it and be like, nah, like, it don't hurt, I'm good.
Yeah.
So, but like, how do you handle that guy? Like, do you see it on his face and you still and you cut back the reps or take down the weight?
So with guys, it's hard, man, because once again, it becomes a prideful thing. It becomes a pride thing because without this injury, avoid this injury, I know you can lift this.
Yeah.
But we have to play it smart because it doesn't make sense to re-injure yourself or cause further damage to the injury. So with guys, in that case, I have to train them when it's not that much traffic in the gym.
Okay.
Because if I'm training a guy and he's in here and he see a girl doing the same weight he's doing, it becomes a prideful thing.
Yeah, it's going.
But what you're failing to realize is it's not a prideful matter right now.
Right.
The matter right now is about safety.
Right.
You could do it, but you can't right now because of this injury. So let's continue to strive to what we're doing, focus on your goal, and then when we get there, then there's no problem. But with guys, sometimes with guys you have to bring them back.
Yeah.
And sometimes, like I said, I've been doing this for a while. That's why you hear the saying, women are easier to train than men. Because men, it becomes like, well, you telling me to do this, or it's like a submitting type of thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes people, when you hear that word submit, they take it the wrong way. But that's really what it is. Like, I'm your trainer, I'm experiencing this area, I'm telling you what to do for this particular reason. Just trust me.
Right.
But because in your mind, it's like, well, this girl is lifting 225 on each side, I could do the same thing. Yeah, you can. But guess what? You're going to re-injure yourself.
Right.
So it only makes sense. So let's just relax and chill.
Okay. All right. So I definitely dig it. I definitely dig that, and I can relate to the injury. Because depending on the injury, like prime example, let's you might be training a guy who has a shoulder injury, and so when it comes to chest, you have to work around that. Yeah. Right. And so therefore, that's where the whole. So what are the alternatives for the guy that's super concentrated on having a bigger chest, a bigger bench, and he just fell off a ladder or whatever and hurt his shoulder, so now he's out of commission, but he's still trying to maintain what he has and maybe, I guess, still drop fat or whatever. So how would you handle that guy?
All right, so prime example, I'm gonna use one of my clients who, if you've been following our IG page, a good friend of mine, Chuck. Okay. He had a shoulder injury. Okay. Right? This guy had a shoulder injury, and in that process of him having a shoulder injury, he gained a lot of weight from being down on himself and things like that, right? Yeah. It took us, I want to say, probably like between that 4 to 6 month range for him to start benching what he was normally benching prior to, before the injury.
That's not bad at all.
So what you have to remind people is it's a timing thing. Right. Just relax. It doesn't make sense to injure yourself and set yourself back when you could just continue to do what we're doing, stick to the plan, and then we'll get there in no time. Right. So with Chuck, because he had a shoulder injury, when it came to benching and certain movements, we had to stay away from. But what I had to do as a trainer, I had to come up with a workout program. Was I know for a fact I could hit some type of isolation movement, so as though when the time went on, he was getting stronger. Yeah. So if his shoulder is, so let's say for instance you got a right shoulder injury, and we're doing chest, we're having a chest day, and we're doing dumbbells, right? Okay. Well, if you have that right injury on your shoulder, I'm gonna have you grab a 15 or 20 pound dumbbell, and your left side, since it's not injured, if you want to grab a 50 or 40, cool. But the one with the less weight, that's the more reps you're going to give me.
Oh, so that's how you would do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
To accommodate it, right? And then from there, like I said, I had them doing a lot of like wall push-ups, body weight.
Got you.
And whenever we was on the pec deck, the same thing. We'll get on the pec deck isolation. So we'll do his right shoulder. We'll probably do like have it set on 50 pounds, and he might give me 25 or 30.
Right.
And then on the left side, he might give me 10.
Yeah.
Because it's a little bit heavier. So we was doing that for a build up.
Got
the reason
you.
why, because
and that keeps both of the pecs full and
because right now you're looking for a pump.
Yeah.
Especially with him, he was looking for a pump.
You're right. Okay.
So we was able to do that, and like I said, with him, it was eating him up because and it's like any person, whether it be male or female, when you know your capability, when you know how strong you are, when you know what you could do, and when you get an injury, the hardest thing is just being patient. And a lot of people don't have the patience because you're trying to go back in the gym and lift the way how you was lifting 2-3 weeks later, and you can't do that.
Right. But
depending on the environment and what's going on, I understand, because if you just injured, let's say you injured your leg and you squatting, 585, and everybody else seem like they're getting gains and they're getting strong and stuff like that. For you feel like you're getting left behind.
Right.
And so
it's internal pressure to keep up with everybody else, man.
And so you just gotta understand, man. Just sit down and just relax, man, and just
peer pressure from all angles.
Just sit back, go through the healing process, man. Don't mess yourself up, and then you'll be back there in no time.
So I got a question for you. So say somebody's come back from an injury and they're good. So like, I don't know, I guess you'll see it a lot if somebody broke their arm or something.
Yeah. And
you have one arm that's now smaller than the other and it's like noticeable.
Yeah.
Or, maybe the course of their life, something happened and like one arm is smaller than the other or like whatever. How would you handle that?
Well,
because this also just fits in for general bodybuilders in the sense that, one side is all like, I'll be honest, like my right leg is a tad bit smaller than my left leg. Mm-hmm. I don't know how, well, I kind of know how it happened, but
yeah.
I mean, but how would you handle, the person that has that issue and they want to bring it back up?
Well,
and they're good to lift everything,
yeah,
but they just imbalanced and so like the one side is a little bit weaker.
So I'm glad you said that, because whenever we struggle with imbalances, that's because we're not doing enough isolation movements. Okay. See, normally when we're doing a lot of compound movements, so prime example, your left arm might be stronger than your right arm. Why is that? Because half the times when you're doing those movements, your left arm is taking over the exercise.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so therefore that's
like
why
when you press up on the bench and the left arm will come up
first, further, yeah.
And then the right arm trails.
Yeah. Or if you're squatting and for some reason the bar is shifting more to your left than your right.
Yeah. Coming up too fast on the left because that's the dominant leg.
So in those cases, in those scenarios, you need to make sure, all right, cool, I know whether it be a light day or after the workout, I need to focus on isolation with this particular body part so I could get it to meet the other one. So it could stop it from being so dominant and taking over during the workout.
So do you switch your exercises and your workout plans for that person to all isolation?
Yeah, I would make sure I got isolation movements included in it.
Okay. For
that workout program. So prime example, if like you said, if you could do a lateral raise and with a 45 pound dumbbell, but on the right side you're struggling, and that means after you do the full movement, whenever you get some time, then you need to start working on isolation with the right.
Gotcha.
So and also too, what people have to realize, injuries, some of them could be avoided, but we're not. Because number one, you're trying to press somebody, you can't lift that weight. Yeah. Right?
Especially your form is messed up. Injuries.
Yeah, gym injuries. Your form is messed up. And outside of that, a lot of people, believe it or not, especially who work out, they don't stretch.
How important is stretching? Because I don't stretch.
Yeah, stretching is very important because it keeps you loose instead of being tight. And so that's why, if you notice, even in the bodybuilding trend now, you start to see a lot of pros and everybody, they getting massages now.
Yeah,
they get stretching massage now because they pushing that. Yeah, because all that stiffness and tightness, after a while, it builds up.
Right.
So now you're back. So you deadlifting out the gym, and after a while, that one day you just pull it on something light.
Yeah.
because it's so stiff and tight back there. So now you got guys actually adding that into their regimen when it comes to working out. Was they got a spar day and they getting deep tissues to separate that blood and move those muscles around and stuff like that because it's so tight.
Yeah.
So you got to do that, man.
I've actually wanted to incorporate that. I've done a poor job at it. I do it like once a quarter. But.
I did it on my last show and it worked tremendously for me. Shout out to Jew. I went to Jew. He was doing it for me, and I made it a routine. And I felt like that year, that was my best look that year. And when you get in like certain deep tissues and activating, releasing things like that, you start to see, wow, I do have lats.
Yeah, they were just so tight that you couldn't even get them out. Yeah,
same thing with your legs. Okay, I got some little cuts in here. You know what I'm saying? But
so much inflammation and
you got
just being tight all the time. It's like you can't see it all.
And then, like I said, the most important thing, it keeps you loose too.
Yeah,
you got to be loose, man. You going to, like I said, you got people who you'll feel your legs sore and tight, and yet you're still walking around.
Well, I got a question
instead of stretching.
I got a question for you. How much tightness do you? How much? So, I'm a heavy squatter. I like a level squat, and I go ass to grass with all my squats. Mm-hmm. So if you look at people that are out there squatting, for example, or attempting to deadlift, how much do you think muscle tightness is why they can't get their full range of motion or go deeper in the squat or actually bend down and get in the proper position for a conventional deadlift?
Yeah.
And they end up just having their hips super high, knees not really bent, and just torquing all their lower back. How much do you think that's could be resolved by stretching?
I'm gonna be honest with you. When it comes to deadlifts, I think when it comes to stretching, that's one thing because it will help you with your flexibility to get lower. Mm-hmm. But that's just a small part. I think when it comes to deadlifts, I think a lot of people could lift more than what they are. It's just the form. A lot of people don't have the form down pat. So I think
agree to that.
So I think because I'm gonna even use myself for example. Like I know my form could be better.
Yeah.
When it comes to me deadlifting, but I just pick it up anyway. I might be able to pick up 585 with ease with messed up form. So if I had my form correct, I'll probably get higher.
Yeah.
So I think to answer your question, when it comes to stretching, when it comes to deadlifting, I think that's just one part. Like it's small. I think when it comes to that type of lift, I think it's all about form and technique.
Okay. So let's talk about a shoulder press. I got these small shoulders, but I've been putting in a lot of time. And one thing I've never done until recently, I started with it and I was doing behind the neck shoulder press, and everybody says it's bad, so I eased up off of it and only went with lightweight. But do you think that's just a flexibility issue too? And maybe if you were super loose, did all your stretches, that would be a safe exercise because you have that range of motion available to you to go that far back?
I'm glad you. All right, so let's use the reverse shoulder press. Right, life could be easier if people knew what they was doing. Like I see a lot of people. I see a lot of people. Like prime example, I see a lot of people do that movement on a lat pull down machine, right?
Yeah, that's always been weird to me.
Yeah, because it's the way they're doing it. So if the lat pull down machine is facing this way, and you're pulling down the normal way as if you would pull down for a lat or normal lat pull, you're bringing it on your head. Why? Like you're making the movement harder when you bring it on your head that way. When you easily just turn around. Face the opposite direction, and now it's an easier movement coming down.
Yeah.
Compared to facing this way, because now you're jerking your head forward, and then sometimes I see people do it as though they're trying to be macho, and they done hit the back of the neck because you're trying to move your head forward so you can bring it down instead of just turning around opposite way.
Yeah,
and just bring it down like that way. Same thing. Even if you do it on a Smith machine, like depending on how the seat is set up, it's an easy movement.
Right.
But once again, it's form and technique. Okay. And then also what I like about it is that can also help with flexibility too.
See the problem, the weight to help stretch you out?
Yeah. But see, you don't have to use heavy weight.
Right.
Like so if you went on a Smith machine right now and did reverse rear delts on a Smith machine, and let's say you didn't use a seat. Let's say you just got on your knees, you put a mat down, you got on your knees, and you were just bringing it down and bringing it back up with lightweight. You getting that flexibility. You scratching right now. Yeah,
that's actually I'm brute force. So that's really I know some people have asked me how was I able to get that low in the squat, and essentially I was like, well, I actually just slowly let the weight of the leg press kind of stretch me and compress me down. And then eventually over time, I was able to carry that over into the squat because I let the heavy leg press kind of crush me.
Crush you.
But it was very moderate and tapered as how I made that progression. Slowly letting it kind of push my knees past my torso.
Which a lot of people don't do.
Over weeks.
On the leg press.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people get on a leg press and they come halfway.
Yeah, they let their body get in the way, if they even let their body get in the way. Or they cry
because you have a lot of plates on there, and then you got somebody sitting on top of it.
Yeah.
And you doing calf raises, you making this leg raises.
Yeah, knees don't bend at all.
Yeah, so.
But that's good. That's good because I know a lot of people can get injuries from heavy weight and having ill proper form. Yeah. And just not being flexible at the bottom of the position. I've seen a lot of guys. I know a guy at the gym that I go to, Richie Station. He was loaded up the leg press, and I don't know what his range of motion was. I wasn't there when it happened, but it was. I don't think he went down deep enough, or he wasn't used to it. He didn't warm up enough, or something. But he popped the quad tendon. Yeah.
And like I said, you know. The little things, you know, the average person don't do before they work out. Like some people, you know, you got to understand you're not the same age you was when you were younger back in the day. Yeah. So for some people, you might want to just go in the gym and warm up on the treadmill. Right. Or on a bike for a little bit before you start doing certain movements, exercise, so that you could get warmed up instead of going in, jumping. I know guys that'll just jump straight into the leg press instead of doing, you know, a 45 each side, they jump into 3-4. Like, jeez, really? That's you're doing too much.
You know, that's actually crazy. I'm glad that you brought that up because so I rarely start with a warm up on the leg press anymore. But for my leg days, actually, as much as I squat, I actually start all of my squatting with the bar, with overhead press, with bench press, with deadlifts, with squats. I start with the bar, and then I add on a 45, or I'll start with like a 25 in the bar, and then a 45, and then I'll make the progression up and up and up. Yeah. And I recognize, you know, when I'm 31. Back when I was like 25 to 27, I would just go into the gym and just go straight at it, load up 225 on the bench and just go and attack it. Load 225 on a squat and just start. Like, that's where I start. I've noticed it's like I don't know what happened, but the minute I turned 30, that was out the window. I was like, nah, man, I feel tight.
Yo, things start hitting a little bit different now.
I can't recover as much.
Get out the bed a little different now. Yeah, aches.
I remember I used to probably like I'd be out, or I'd go to work. I'd be out all day, come home, chill, or be at a friend's house kicking it. And then I'm like, oh, no, so it's midnight. No, I'm still go to the gym. I'm going to hit it because it was a 24-hour gym. Like nowadays, I'm like, yo, it's 8 o'clock. I don't think I'm going to make it. If I'm not already out, I think I'm just going to have to do 2 days tomorrow. Yeah, it's a little bit different. Or find a way to merge like the workouts. But it was one particular time that I worked out at night, and it was to my detriment. I was younger because I was like, nah, I can't skip back day. I can't skip back day because that's the day I do my deadlifts, and I love them. So I was like, I'm going to just do it anyway. Feeling kind of tired, feeling kind of tight, young and dumb. I just pulled it anyway, and I pulled a muscle in my glute. That was the fucking worst. Man, it's crazy. I cut the workout, so I stopped doing deadlifts on the spot. All I did was a bunch of rows. I couldn't walk right. I couldn't do my cardio. And the next day, woke up, and that joint was even worse. It was just so bad. And I actually had, in order to get a quick fix, I had to I went to a hot yoga class, and asked them to, you know, do like pigeon pose. So I learned a bunch of new stuff just trying to get that injury out, to like stretch my glute. I had to just like stretch my glute out. Yeah. But so have you ever had anything like that? Like where you either like training in the gym and get an injury, or how have you had to change how you recover from personal injuries, gym injuries, or outside of the gym?
Well, me personally, I think being a competitive man, it makes it hard because you don't know when to sit down. Like I said, like
not at all.
You know, the type of training we do, it's the same. The type of training how we train if you don't get injured at least once, then you're not training hard.
That's a shame.
And so it is a shame.
It's a shame, but it's true.
But
you know, pushing it hard enough.
The injuries for me, it might be like, you know, my wrist. I might have like wrist injuries. Wrists just be hurting like crazy.
So how do you work around that if it's like you injured your wrist on like bench day, but now it's shoulder day and you got to press again. So how do you handle that?
You said that because that happened the day before yesterday. So I was able to bench, but certain movements, so like I have to avoid. So I might be good doing underhand movements, but not overhand movements.
So you do a reverse bench on a bar or something?
No, depending on like so for chest, I might not have a problem.
Yeah.
But prime example, like yesterday, the day before yesterday, Tuesday. Tuesday we did chest, I didn't have any problems. We did back Wednesday, I didn't have any problems. When it came Thursday for shoulders, I had problems because when I tried to do shoulder press or certain other movements with my wrist being like this, the pain was crazy, just having a ball in it. And so even with me wrapping it up and stuff like that, I couldn't do anything.
Right.
And so me,
not
the person
train. I'm still gonna get it in.
Yeah. So it was like, okay, I did complete my workout, but I felt like I didn't achieve what I wanted to because of the certain fact of I had to stay away from certain movements that I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Just to build certain, just to build some more rounders and stuff like that on my front delts. But that's what I'm saying. So in situations like that, I have to understand it doesn't make any sense for you to do this. Just sit down, just fall back.
Yeah.
And whenever you start feeling, you know, because sometimes when we do get injuries, every now and again, depending on the day, it feels good. And so we try to go after it, and it might be good, and then 2 days later, you back to square one.
So you
just made it worse because you thought you was able, because you instead of being 100%, you 50%, and you banging back out instead of just chilling and relaxing.
Well, that's actually interesting. So I have somebody I train that, you know, some days are better than others with their knee. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, all right, well, your knee feels good. Let's maximize it. Let's go hard.
That's what we messing up at. Can't do it.
So I shouldn't be doing that.
Don't do it.
Oh, dang!
Don't do it.
I thought I was doing the right thing. I was like,
it.
we gonna maximize. You know, if you feel good.
Nah,
all right.
because when you do that,
you push them too far and then they get hurt again.
Yep. Or even if it feel good that day, they're gonna pay for it later because whatever injury it is, it's not fully healed. I got a guy that I'm training with right now. He messed something up in his pec, right? And so he put Tiger Balm, everything. He do the whole 9, right? Just to get it warmed up, just so we could, you know, lift and things like that.
Dedication.
It's a hit and a miss. And now, mind you, this been going on for like the last 2 months and a half. So had he would have just stayed away from the movement, right? He probably would have been good by now. But every time we do chest, it's a setback. So when he went to the doctor to go get checked out, they was telling him, that's what's happening.
You keep re-injuring
You keep re-injuring. So you just need to stay away from that movement in general. But because he want to travel and look good, just like myself. And when you go to the beach, you know, when you get a little sand in your ass and you walk around
this man's Instagram page.
So that's what's going on. So he injured himself. So I'm like, bro, you just got to chill, just stay away from the movement and stuff like that. But it's hard, man. Like I said, it's hard because you know what you could do, you know what you're capable of doing, but you just got to sit down and relax. And I think sometimes people don't understand that, and they don't understand like just recovery in general, just falling back.
Right.
Like, you know, you're not
listen to your body.
Sometimes, to be honest with you, I learned this the hard way. Sometimes, if you miss a week, that's fine at the gym because your body might need it. Yeah. But in our minds, if we're not going to the gym, it's like,
you see how I look right now.
Oh my God, I'm gaining weight. I'm getting fat.
I'm weak.
Bloated,
I feel weak. My muscles small.
Yeah, like, nah, it's good to just relax. Yeah. You know, a week is fine. The way how we train, if you're training 4 to 5 days a week every day and you're getting after it all the time, if you miss 1 week, guess what? The road is not going to end. You're fine.
Yeah.
Just don't let that week turn to 2 or 3 weeks.
It's hard to get that through my head. Like, I know I had that issue myself.
Your body need it.
I don't think since maybe like 2015 I've gone more than a week off of the gym. And the weeks that I have gone off, it was painful. I didn't want to give it out. Like, I feel like if I skip 2 days of the gym, like, I'm gonna just shrivel up, get weak. Mm-hmm. My muscles ain't gonna be there. My arms that don't exist are gonna be even smaller.
Some of us are literally taking that hashtag no days off to a whole nother level. You better take a day off.
Yeah. Well, you know,
you're gonna hurt yourself.
I actually speak of this now because I know I just can't keep up anymore. between my job, training other people, and trying to do some other projects on the side and training to be a competitor still, it's
it's tough.
I was training 7 days a week, and I was getting, and I was training 7 days a week, and I was training with weights 8 times a week, and still doing cardio when I wake up, and I just couldn't keep it up anymore. And then I backed down to, I thought, I just take a day, so I'll do 6 days a week, and that still wasn't cutting it.
Yeah.
So for the month of November and December, I was only training 4 days a week and only doing cardio when I felt like it. But I actually think that's how at the end of the month I hit my PR on squat, my personal goal on squat. I hit my personal goal on overhead press. I feel like that actually saved me and was better for me in the long run. Cause then at the end of the month, I actually bumped into 2 people I hadn't seen in a while. One is a guy that sells, I guess, like knee sleeves and wraps, and he was like, "Yo, you got bigger since last time I seen you." Yeah. And like most people be training in the gym, they look the same. So like they train every day and they look the same for months and months and months. He was like, "Yeah, from the last time I seen you a couple months back, you put on some size."
How did you feel when he told you that?
I was like, "Yes, it's working." See? All them days doing shoulders and arms has been paying off. It's coming a little bit. He was like, "Yeah."
Body images.
Yeah.
PSYWay.com. Y'all go check that out too.
Yeah. That joint felt real great. It let me know I was doing the right thing by taking more time off to actually let my body,
because people seeing your hard work
recover.
Yeah.
I
remember my coaches tell us like sleep is very important.
Yeah,
and you forget that. It's
so critical.
It is,
and that's the one thing that I've heard other people say, and I've let fall through the cracks so often, like all of 2019 essentially, and even some of these days now. Like I'll try to operate on 4 hours of sleep, and I've heard a guy say like, "Look, you're waking up to do fasted cardio on 4 hours of sleep. You actually would have burned more fat had you just actually hit REM sleep and got all of your rest, because your body recovers while you sleep. So not only are you building muscle, but you're burning fat while you sleep. That is literally like the process. And you're cutting yourself short by doing an hour on the step mill, because now you're more tired. You dug a deeper hole for your body to try to recover from.
Yep.
And all you're gonna do is keep going 7 days a week. So you're just digging a deeper hole that your body can't recover from, and your body will manifest it by not losing fat. Like you'll hit a plateau with your fat loss. You'll start getting weaker on all of your lifts. So sleep is like crucial. The most important thing. Sleep and nutrition are by far number 1 and number 2. I don't know which one is better than the other, but you need them both to make progress.
And
overcome the injuries. This is the part of rest.
Yeah,
resting the injury, letting it heal, let your body do what it's supposed to do.
Like I said, I've been pretty blessed and fortunate to train a lot of people with injuries, man, and me going through injuries as well. And it's not an easy task, man, because some people have goals, and as a trainer, you're trying to help them reach their goals, but you do also know how long the process is going to be and how long it's going to take for them to reach it, because you have to stay away from certain movements.
Yeah.
I done trained people who had, whether it be a prosthetic leg or, whatever you could think of. I done probably trained them. I done trained people who suffer from heart attacks and all type of crazy stuff, man. And you have to train them a different way.
So the people with injuries, do you train them? I'm sorry to cut you off. Did you want to finish?
No, but see, the when you're training somebody with an injury, depending on the injury, you have to train them by themselves. So, I see people into, like, a lot of people, they do the group training and things like that, which is fine. But when you're training somebody with an injury, you got to understand, when you're training them with someone else, at some point, they start trying to compete with the other person and wanting to do the things that they're doing, knowing they can't do it.
Right.
And so it messes with them mentally, because it's like, now it's like, well, I can't do what they're doing. I can't lift that. And it bothers them. And so you want to try to, like, isolate them so that they don't get distracted. You want to try to keep them,
stay on their own pace.
Yeah,
and move, and
because
do what they can, not overshoot.
Exactly. And when it comes to nutrition, it's important that you have a healthy meal plan. You putting the right stuff in your body, because that can help somewhat.
So like, do you change their diet for the people that have injuries, or do you advise them to eat certain things or take certain things out so that they heal faster?
Yeah, well, for the most part, depending on the injury, because like I said, we personal trainers, so like, you know, I have people that I work with who do the meal plans, because like it's a thin line between that too, because you don't want to tell somebody to take something out that they might need,
Right?
And now it becomes a problem for them. Like there was a guy, and this happened. There was a personal trainer. He didn't get the background information on the client. The client had high blood pressure. He told them to take something out, and he recommended a pre-workout.
Oh,
for them to have for them to
be able to get through that workout.
No, for them, for them to get injured because they struggle with energy.
Yeah,
the person got on the treadmill and died. So you have to be mindful of certain things that you recommend, because these people, they're not doing any research. They're just taking what we say to them because they're like,
Dang.
You've been doing this for a while, so we're trusting you with our lives and whatever information is that you've given us, because this is what we're paying you for. We're paying you for your knowledge and your experience.
So did the dude that died, did he tell the
their family tried to sue him. He probably didn't, because the average person don't ask those type of things. Like, you got to ask that type of stuff. Like I said, once again, when a person come in and you're training a person, and if you're a personal trainer, make sure you're paying attention. If a person coming to you for personal training, you need to find out, have they been cleared by a doctor? You need to make sure what medications they're taking. And most importantly, outside of all of those things, you need to make sure that you get somewhat of type of questions of the lifestyle, like whether or not are you on birth control, or do you drink, do you smoke? Because all this stuff is going to take a role in what program I give you. Right. So for a lot of people, they don't ask people, you know, do you have high blood pressure? Do you have low blood pressure? Do you have diabetes? They don't ask these questions to these people. All we doing is, well, not all of us, but some people, all they doing is just, hey, a person want to see you, they want to train you, just take their money, you just give them a workout program, and you're not
doing the due diligence.
Yeah, to find out that stuff.
And that's actually good. I'm glad you brought that up, because yes, I train, but those questions I've never asked. So I've asked people if they have any surgeries, if they have any injuries, and if they're taking any supplements, any drugs of any kind, like no matter what they are. Like, I've asked them about that, but I don't think I've ever touched on blood pressure.
You might
and that's something I'm gonna be sure I add to my list. I've never heard that story like that before.
Yeah, because
I ain't trying to get caught up in that.
The people that we're dealing with, like I said, some of these people are making a lifestyle towards though they could get the help that they need from us, and then some of them, they are being forced. I got people who right now, prime example, because I have a thing where a lot of my clients get mad at people who get referred to me by doctors. So I have people who might get referred to me by a doctor because they have a certain weight they need to hurry up and lose. Otherwise, the doctor might tell them, hey, if you don't lose X amount of weight by this time, you might be on dialysis for the rest of your life. So these people I don't have a problem with when it comes to training, because I could tell them to eat carrots 5 times a day. They're going to eat carrots 5 times a day.
Yeah.
Because they understand they have a goal and a mission, because they know.
To stay alive.
Exactly. Compared to somebody who's young, I'm training, they got in their mind, I have a longer ceiling, so I could just party and do what I need to do. It's not really necessary. I don't have to do, like, I could cheat, I could do this, I could do that. Compared to this person here, it's a life and death situation.
Right.
So in that, I got to make sure I get all that information. I got to make sure, like I said, when it comes to certain injuries and things like that, I know. Because if not, if I'm training somebody who has a prosthetic leg, if I've never asked them that and I tell them to go do cardio and they go do cardio, guess what? That leg gonna come off probably.
Yeah.
Now they're gonna be embarrassed.
Yeah.
So yeah, you don't want to have them looking like anything. So those questions you want to ask. Now, when it comes to the nutrition part, once again, you just have to be mindful. Certain having a healthy nutrition in your regimen does help, because you're putting the proper food and things like that into your body, so it's helping you when it comes to recovery and things like that. But for some people, based on the injury and what it is, you know, it may not necessarily help because of that injury, due to the fact of what happened. Like, prime example, like if you got in a car accident and you mess your back, I don't care how good you're eating, you're still going to experience those back pains.
Yeah.
So like
food
certain
can't
things,
fix that one.
So like certain things, you know, certain nutrition is not going to necessarily help the situation,
right?
But it's going to help in regards to, all right, well, your back might hurt a little bit here and there, but it could hurt a whole lot more
Right.
if you was weighing more than what you're weighing now.
Yeah, if you was sad and you started eating fried foods because you couldn't move, and now you're gaining weight and eating ice cream and doing that. So, and that's not, and those foods aren't doing anything to reduce inflammation or if it's a broken bone, help heal give your body the nutrients it needs to make the bone heal faster.
Yeah.
So I guess in general, it's just just keep a healthy diet and don't eat that junk.
Yeah, just keep a healthy diet.
So pretty much what you would do anyway for the clients that are trying to lose weight.
Yeah, you want to keep it diet, but for some people, like I said, once again, depending on the injury and whatever medication they may be taking, for some of them, it may cause them to eat a lot more or crave certain things. Yeah, so like it's like I said, it's like it's a thin line when it comes to that because. Certain medication may cause certain people to eat more, may cause some people to sleep more, may cause some people not want to eat.
Right.
And so here you are as a trainer, you have to understand that because then this person is coming to you saying they feel like they're not getting results. They feel like they're still saying they're wasting their money and things like that. Yeah. Yeah. And so you just have to reaffirm them, hey, look, it's a process.
Right.
Certain things that you're taking and it's going to cause you to, it's going to trigger this or have you act this way or make you feel this way. And, you just got to, that's when the coaching, the motivation, inspiration, everything got to come out of you to help this person to uplift their spirit. Gotcha. So they don't feel down and things like that. So, like, you just got to wear multiple hats when you're a personal trainer nowadays.
Gotcha.
Because you're their motivational coach. You everything pretty much. These people that's paying you. Yeah. Because, like I said, you have a person who want to achieve instead of a certain look, and yet this injury or whatever it is might be stopping them from doing certain movements or getting that look so what do you do? Right. So you just got to be mindful, man, and just making sure you're on your game and staying sharp. And I think for the most part, you just got to understand how you have to have a whole arsenal for when it comes to workout programs. Right. Like you just can't be like
one-dimensional.
Yeah, one-dimensional.
Bodybuilding style, or with or like the powerlifter style.
You got to know some stuff, man. You really got to know some stuff because everybody's not going to be able to lift weights. You got to do their body weight. You might have, like I said, a young lady who might come in with a knee injury. What do you do when you got on the leg press or when she's, when you got a squat, and what it is that you're doing to stop her from preventing injury? Because those people, like I said, you might tell her to go down to get a little bit deeper, and she's not trusting you because of the feeling that she's feeling when she's doing that movement. Right. And so, you just got to be mindful, man.
And how long have you been training full time?
Man, I've been training people for over 7 years.
Or even part time, because I know you was doing other stuff.
Yeah, so I remember, I was begging people to let me train them for free. Yeah. Like, let me train you for free. Man, I've been doing this for over 7 years now. I've been blessed to do it. I've been doing it full time for a while now. And that says a lot because at the end of the day, you're a bill. And a lot of people don't like paying bills.
Nah, they don't.
And so you are somebody's bill. They're paying you. And, like I said, it took a while for me to get my brand out, for me to get noticed, for me to show people my results, what I could do. And I've been fortunate to, give people the customer service that they want, the results that they want. And so that continue to grow the business because it's all about, helping these people achieve their goals. The money's a side part of it.
Helping everybody out.
Yeah. But to do this thing full time, that says a lot because once again, people are paying you. You are living off of them paying you, which means you have to have a nice steady flow of income or clients for you to even do that. Let alone you have to have some type of discipline when it comes to spending. Yeah. Because when it comes to personal training, you might hit a certain number one month and the next month it might not be the same. Right. So
it's good. I guess I was asking you that just to let anybody that is an aspiring trainer or thinking about it, if they stumble upon this podcast, to let them know that you come with a lot of in the field practice and knowledge, and you've handled a lot of cases. I didn't even know
because the book you could take a personal training course and the book might not teach you how to train somebody with a prosthetic leg.
That book is interesting.
So like not bashing the book or the courses. You need to take that, but a lot of your knowledge and experience is going to come from the floor. Right. So you want to train as many people as possible so you can get used to dealing with these matters, and then for the most part, you want to make sure you have somebody overseeing you, so that by the time you do get on your own, you seasoned enough to do what you need to do.
Right.
Because if you just jump out there, you're gonna stumble across a lot of things. If you don't got nobody telling you or nobody mentoring you how to handle situations, then you're just training people based on the workouts that the book is giving you.
And that's
not always the case.
That's not always good.
Mm-mm.
Well, all right, guys. Hope you learned a lot. Gary comes with a lot of knowledge, a lot of knowledge.
Drop them gems tonight. Yeah.
Make sure you ask all the questions. It's probably best if you just run through just like make a checklist that hits all of the questions, and you just run it through all of your clients on day one, so you don't find yourself giving them something that they shouldn't have, or taking medicine out, or giving them food that they can't have, or whatever. So thank you very much, man.
No, thank you, man, and thank you all for watching us. And make sure you like and subscribe.
If you know somebody that's injured, make sure you pass this their way. Leave a comment, leave a topic that you want us to address, and just share it. We'll talk to you guys later.
Talk to you later, alligator. You heard me.